Live गेलिंग पहिले इंट्रोड्यूस करतो मी लाईव्ह केलंय
सर असं बाकी बोल
या ना इंट्रोड्यूस
Okay. A warm welcome and a very good evening to you all. I am Joy Fernandez, who was a coordinator for this case. Now, in short, to tell you, this matter was a suo motu taken up by the Competition Commission of India against the North Goa and South Goa Tourist Taxi Owners Association and Center for Responsible Tourism, which is a part of Caritas, and Father Freddy is representing that. And finally, we had to give this matter to our good friends from Delhi. They are well-known Supreme Court advocates, Mr. Ujjwal Anand Sharma and Mr. Prashant Shivrajan. They have a firm called Lawmen and White, and they are represented famous in cases like actor Sonu Sood. They have defended his matters. Former Chief Minister and current PWD Minister Ashok Chavan, Kunal Kamra, comedian Kunal Kamra, and many member of parliament. And I think so they are lawyers for Mr. Sudhin Davdekar, and in the matters against Babu Asgaonkar, which is going on in the Supreme Court. So I would request Advocate Ujjwal to start the press conference.
Welcome to the friends of the press. First of all, when I came to Goa, I expressed that it's a little unfortunate that we don't have a press club in Goa for your friends. so I told them that this needs to be advocated to have a press club for the friends at press. Also, so let me give you a brief introduction about what is the matter. The matter was on the basis of a complaint. CCI has taken a suo motu cognizance that North Goa, South Goa, and Caritas Goa they've indulged into anti-competitive agreement, and they have basically prevented the entry of Ola and Uber in Goa. English is fine? Correct. So they prevented the entry of Ola and Uber in Goa. And then they directed the Director General to investigate the matter. So when the Director General investigated the matter...
This DG is Transport Ministry?
No. This Director General is basically under Competition Commission has authority to appoint a Director General who would basically investigate the entire matter. So it was appointed by CCI. It has nothing to do with the ministry. So it was appointed by CCI. Director General came to Goa. They basically interviewed the local people. They took the statement from North Goa, South Goa Tourist Taxi Associations, also from Caritas Goa, and they also interviewed the owners and the representatives of Ola and Uber and the other hotels owners association also. And then ultimately they gave a finding that our clients, they have indulged into anti-competitive agreements, and they have prevented Ola and Uber from entering to Goa. The DG also gave a finding that a penalty should be imposed upon our clients. We appeared, argued, and filed a reply before CCI. And this is very important because the entire finding of DG was frivolous. It was only on the basis of newspaper reports. This is what we told the CCI in our reply. It was recorded by CCI. We also said that there is not even a single evidence which was put by DG on record that our clients have entered into any anti-competitive agreements. We also apprised the CCI that there are already policies in place which basically talks about the cab aggregators. We also apprised CCI, and it was a humble submission before CCI through our reply, that our clients have a right to protest. And there is a lot of the numerous Supreme Court judgments on this. My partner, Mr. Prashant Shivarajan, will give a detailed picture of what we argued, and point by point, he'll basically apprise the friends of the press. Please.
Yeah, welcome everyone. To supplement what my colleague Mr. Ujjwal Anand Sharma just stated, first and foremost, what we argued was that this entire investigation itself was biased. We have done this on the basis of newspaper articles. You have not bothered to find out the true and correct version of events. You have not found out what is the ground reality in Goa, number one. Number two, most importantly, you have not seen what is the actual local condition. And most importantly, when you are conducting an investigation into whether the entry of Ola and Uber was stopped, did you request them to provide you any information as to whether they actually wanted to enter the state? This is the material question. How can I ban somebody from entering the state when they have not taken any effective steps to enter the state? Till now, it is a matter of record that Uber has not taken any steps to enter the state of Goa.
They never had a license.
They never had a license, they never applied for a license. Ola applied for a license, wound up its operations way back in 2013. Now, in these circumstances, you have 100% conducted a biased investigation. Secondly, what we wanted to highlight before the Honorable CCI was that why are our Goan drivers protesting? The reason is very simple, and it's a pattern which I think everyone here knows. It's not an open secret. Whenever Ola and Uber have entered any market, the local taxi drivers have only suffered. Take the basic and perhaps best example of Bombay or Mumbai. Today, the iconic Kali Kili taxi of Bombay has vanished from the streets. It has been replaced by Ola Uber. Our drivers here in Goa wanted only one thing, that they should not be replaced. Is that not a legitimate right to protest? Is that not something I will fight for? That I will be replaced by these corporations? They have only and only protested. They have resorted to strikes. They have resorted to peaceful demonstrations, all of which they have taken requisite permissions from the authorities for. Can today my strike be said to be an anti-competitive practice? Absolutely not. Supreme Court in certain judgments with respect to Ramlila Maidan in 2012, with respect to Kisan Mazdoor Sangathan in 2018, all of these judgments have held that the right to a peaceful protest and demonstration is my fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution. Our Goan drivers were only exercising their fundamental right. Can you curtail me from exercising my fundamental right? That was the second aspect that we wanted to highlight. Next, what we said was, and most importantly, today my taxi associations are not in a position to influence the outcome of what is ultimately a policy decision of the government. I protested, my clients protested, we raised stiff opposition. Ultimately, what happened? Representations were moved before the government. The government discarded our representations and ultimately took out a policy for cab aggregators to enter the state of Goa. Pursuant to that policy, there is already an app, Goa Miles, which is flying in the state. Everybody is well aware. It has started only pursuant to this policy being notified by the government. Now, on one hand, you are saying that our clients have prevented the entry of Ola and Uber when, after our clients demonstrated, a policy was notified. After the policy, Goa Miles app comes up, and most importantly, and this is the gravamen of the finding of the CCI, that in its entire investigation, though the DG properly contacted and sought information from senior level authorized representatives of both Ola and Uber, there was not a shred of evidence, not a single document, nothing to show what efforts they had taken so that it could be concluded that we had prevented their entry. If somebody has not taken any step to enter, it is an inescapable conclusion that I cannot prevent you from entering when you have never intended to enter in the first place. And most importantly, what the Honorable CCI held was that this approach of peacefully protesting and demonstrating against something which is well known, the conduct of these companies, cannot be said to be anti-competitive behavior falling within Section 3 of the Act.
And lastly, it's very important. And finally, after all these submissions, when CCI they heard us, and when we finally argued and concluded the matter, CCI took into consideration our arguments, and they finally held that the DG never conducted the investigation properly. The documents, the evidence were not on record, and they finally held that none of our clients, including Caritas Goa, North Goa Owners Tourist Taxi Owners Association, the South Goa Owners Tourist Taxi Association, were in anti-competitive agreement. Thank you.
How was Ola operating for so long? How was Ola operating in Goa for so long?
So I'm not able to
How
understand.
was Ola operating for so long in Goa?
I know
Ola is not Goa Miles.
Goa Miles.
As per the information that is there on record, Ola did have an office in Goa. Ola briefly opened and was operating in Goa, and as per official record from 2013, Ola has not been operating. And the documents with respect to the same were placed before CCI.
And it was not our clients, but it was the government. It was the government who cancelled their license in 2013. Yes. Yeah, everything is mentioned. It's a detailed order. And most importantly, about the Caritas, the DG also gave a finding about Caritas Goa that Father Freddy he was basically coordinating with both the associations, and he was the one who was coordinating the meetings. So and this was a specific finding which was given by the DG in its report. CCI discarded that finding, and Father Freddy never ever wrote to any association that you should basically stop. There is not even a single document that has been placed on record that Father Freddy prevented the entry of Ola and Uber, or Father Freddy facilitated the transaction between both the associations to stop the entry of Ola and Uber in the state. Everything is recorded in the order. We have prepared a short note for the friends, and you can refer to the same.
So basically, this also means that Ola want to apply. They are free to apply.
There's a policy. There's already a policy in 2019, and they can apply as per that policy. Our clients though gave a representation to the government, and see I'll tell you how Ola Uber operates. It's not just Bombay. Every state right now is suffering from the shenanigans of Ola and Uber. The way they charge, even the drivers, they're suffering. There are a lot of different associations. But now, since they have made a position in the market, it's totally off the record. We should not record. I'm answering you. Because now they've come with a policy that you have to come and you have to charge as per government rates, because initially they give you a lollipop. The customers they start charging, they give you discounts, but later on, once they are in a position to influence the market, correct, and then they introduce surge pricing, and then you don't have any other option.
To just add to what Ujjwal said, it's not only that they introduce the surge pricing, they reduce the driver commission. So ultimately, you have a driver who is now forced to work and drive continuously for 14 to 16 hours every day in order to make enough so that he can pay off his installments and pay off his fuel and then support his family. And this is not only unsafe for the driver, it's unsafe